Okay, so I have a fun little video. I think it's sad fun. The guy has the same last name as me that perpetuated this fraud. I'm not related, so don't hate. But yeah, I think this. So he worked for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's like in the finance department, and he just basically used their lack of internal controls to like totally run a scam. What were the failures? Exactly. Exactly. So he had control of the cash, meaning the credit cards, right? He had full access to those cards and the accounting books, right? He was whatever somehow categorizing that spend as company expenses, right? So there was no separation of duties. There was no oversight, right? So all that spend was like there's no review of it. So yeah, this is like a total failure. And the Jacksonville Jaguars is like an NFL football team. It's like not some small company. And so um, this is why it's important. He spent. I still can't believe that of that. It's like the largest spend was like on gambling. Like that just I just don't understand that. Like I don't. I guess I don't know a gambling addict intimately, so I just don't understand how you could be that dumb. But I heard that the thrill of losing the money is actually bigger. I don't know if this is true. Again, I don't understand that, but yeah, it's not his money. But I think from what I've like read or heard in I don't know where podcast or something, it's like you lose the money and then that down, you really like you want to be in that down state because when you start winning again, it feels so good. So yeah, again, it's like it's a really psychological disorder if you ask me. But anyways, yeah. So but yeah, it was able to get so far because of all these lapses. So yeah, it's his fault for sure, but it's also the Jaguars' fault for you know losing their money. The owner's money. What should have happened? Well, for you, I would say the number one control is that there's a credit limit. You cannot spend $20 million because there's a limit on the card, right? So that's the first control. Secondly, you could go spend all that stuff, but then you're gonna your boss is gonna see the statement, right? And he's gonna ask you what was all this for. You'll have to oftentimes if you're using a company card for a trip, you'll have to submit an expense report that says exactly what you spent. If for like larger businesses, maybe if it's a small business, he didn't make you do that. But usually, if you're like a consultant for McKinsey, when you're out on your trip, you're gonna submit whatever you spent stuff on, and so it has to reconcile. Well, let's say that it was like over 5 years, and he's spending 5 million a year. What is the total spend on all the cards for the Jacksonville Jaguars? It's probably in the tens or hundreds of millions. So maybe he was able to bury it within all the other actual expenses. Um, but still, it sounds like a lot. $20 million is a lot. Even it's hard to imagine that like he was able. Yeah, it's hard to imagine how incompetent the accounting department was to allow this to happen.